right. So we have David. Hello.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
Oh, pretty good. Yeah, I was just wanting to know if you guys knew that atheism is actually a tool to bring you closer to God.
Oh, really?
Really?
How does that work?
Well, it actually works, on the fact that how Christianity and most actual religions are based as far as belief and faith is where it becomes apparent, is when things happen for you.
What things?
What things?
Good or bad.
So what difference would a God
all
make?
All things relevant. It's kind of like a lot of rape victims become lesbians, or kids that are molested become homosexuals. And because of your religious, I feel because of your religious abuse, and you were forced to do something. And
I have no religious abuse in my past. I just came to the conclusion that it doesn't make sense and that it's causing a lot of harm.
Yeah, and I hate that. But at the same time, atheism also, sometimes as a humanist, is also a good example of humans doing God's will without being told, like you say, without having to depend on Him, because that's really what He.
I would debate, whether there even is a God.
Right, but besides that, I can guarantee you, the God of the Bible would not be a humanist. He would never use that word now.
I mean,
throughout the whole Bible is this theme that He created us, not the other way around, and that we are subservient to Him.
Well, it sounds to me that you've studied and come up with a lot of answers to prove that there is not a God.
No.
Even from a scientific standpoint, to actually try to prove something proves that something is there to begin with.
No, see, I may have mistaken what we're trying to say, but I don't believe any of us have said we're trying to prove there is no God.
Well, you're saying there is one.
Well, for us, we don't accept the claim that there is one. And there have been many claims about many different God ideas made. It's important not to think they're all the same in value. But the bottom line is we do not have a burden of proving or disproving anything. We live our lives naturally, and God beliefs come and go and evolve. But throughout the years, you can hear lots of different crazy God ideas that you will immediately disbelieve right off the bat and say, that's crazy. Common sense says there's no spaghetti flying monster on Mars controlling our fate. Now, are you crazy or wrong or immoral for saying that? Or are you actually sucking up to that spaghetti monster by saying that? No. You're living above that fantasy, and it's one thing if you like to go to the movies and watch that sort of thing. That's a great place for fantasy. But in the real world, we adults eventually discover the important things are what are real. Real friends who are actually there. Real relatives who will show up and help you. I mean, I've always wondered why we're supposed to love Jesus with all our heart when He will never come and shake your hand. He will never look you in the eye. He will never tell you His problems. He will never help you fill out your taxes or babysit your kids, change the diaper, go to the gas station, go to the bank. Forget it. You're not going to get... Those are human things, and real friends actually show up to help you with those things. As a kid, I was told to walk with Jesus and be His friend, right? Don't walk in front of Him or behind Him. You're on par with your friend. Walk side by side. Could never find Him to do that in the first place.
And it's a shame that the hypocrites that were in charge of your religious upbringing got a hold of you. And that's a shame. And we don't. And that was real common in the at the turn of the century to the 70s and 80s. Where there was, like, when you have small towns where everybody believed the same way. If you didn't, you were alienated from that group. And Jesus and God do not believe in alienation. They are actually holy.
You will need to read John 3:18, not 3:16. Move a little. Everybody says John 3:16.
Yeah,
continue and read to John 3:18. Jesus was absolutely divisive about religion. Make no mistake about it. He did not say everybody's invited regardless of your beliefs. No way. If you don't go and play His game, His way, on His team, you're not getting onto the field. Simple as that.
Do you believe Jesus existed?
No, I mean, it's a character in a book of mythology. I mean, there may have been lots of people named Jesus a long time ago, maybe even that part of the world, but the son of a god, no.
Right. Now, so you are a firm believer in the theory of the Big Bang, or we could all be a bunch of people, worshiping Collier's Book of Encyclopedias on the Big Bang Theory.
I don't know why you have to worship anything.
Right.
Well,
exactly.
You're confused about worship. It's your own man becoming, actually believing that he is God is the downfall of man.
Well, who would want to be a god, though? Certainly not me. That's not a noble pursuit at all.
I don't think anybody's a god.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I mean, you guys have an icon there. It says ACA. That's kind of iconoclastic, which is deity-like. It's got a little pyramid.
We don't worship our organization. We're just just a bunch of guys that hang out together.
And I would say most symbols like that one are irreligious to begin with.
Well, it's kind of almost like a cross if you look at it.
I guess if you want to look at it that way, but there are lots of symbols out there, and we've chosen one, and we are not religious.
Can we join you guys if we want?
If you're an atheist, you can, yeah.
What if you're not atheist? Can you join the atheist community if you're not an atheist?
No. Would you want to? That'd be dishonest.
So you alienate people that don't believe the way you do.
Dishonest people? Yes, sir. If that's what you feel. But, I mean, if you're not an atheist, there are other groups for you. But if you're not an atheist, don't call yourself
Well, how would you know if you're an atheist? You're not anything. You don't claim atheist, or is that the fundamental part of who you are, or is you being? Well, I forgot your name again, but John or David? Are you David? Or
Joe and Don.
Are you atheist first, or are you David first, or John? Or I forgot your names. This is a debate that I I agree and disagree with a lot of things you say.
It's not the most important thing in my life. No.
Huh?
Being an atheist is not the most important thing in my life.
Well, that's a good comment. See, I like that about you.
Good.
Okay.
No, we're not obsessed.
Anything
with this.
else?
Well, so if I want to join, does it cost any money to join the AC?
We have membership fees, and you have to have a pledge of being a non-believer.
A pledge of being a non-believer,
right.
And how much is that fee?
It's $24 a year.
24? That's not bad. That's cheaper than tithing.
Yeah.
So I guess if you're a cheap non-believer, you can be an atheist.
Yeah, we don't have any, pipe organs and stained glass windows to buy and all that. So.
Right. So at the same time, the high majority of people with belief in this greatness that moves lots of people and moves civilization is completely wrong.
Well, they certainly believe they do, but okay. Well, thank you for your call.
All right.
For people who've been watching clips on YouTube, if this clip happens to make it to YouTube, it's worth pointing out that you can watch the entire show by going to the website, www.atheist-experience.com, as well as archived shows by clicking on the show archive there. Most of them are on Google Video, some of them are on Blip TV.